Welcome back to another video. It is Sunday evening. It is 5 o'clock on the dot. Had a really good Sunday, really productive Sunday. Finished work about 1:30. I've still got one more program to do for someone that literally finished their block an hour ago. And they're training tomorrow, so I need to get that done this evening, but I'm gonna get my session done first, go in, I've got to bath the dog, and then I'll get that done once I've eaten as like my last thing to do today. But I had a really productive day. I've even managed to get some decorating done around the house today, so I'm feeling good, I'm feeling productive, and I'm actually really excited for this session. So it's week 1 of the block. It is primary SBD today. Main focal point in this block is bench because I am 3 weeks out from British bench. So the last week of this block lines up with British bench championships. My goal is to win and get a spot on Team GB this year. That's kind of the plan. So yeah, aiming for that. Squats and deadlifts this block, the end of block targets are like a little bit lower RPE just to kind of account for the fact that I'll be doing British bench the same weekend. I don't know yet what day I'm competing. I'll either be the Saturday or the Sunday, and then I'll do my squats and deadlifts. Either if I'm competing Sunday, I'll do them after I've competed. If I'm competing Saturday, I'll do them on the Sunday most likely. But that's not set in stone. I'll wait for the schedule to come out, which should be released in the next few days because entries have now closed. And we'll go from there. But I'm feeling good. I have been a bit neurotic over the last few days with my squat. So if you watch my videos, you'll know that my end of block that I did last Sunday did not go to plan and I wasn't particularly happy with it. And actually, squats went the most to plan of all of the lifts, but squats are the lift that I've been really neurotic about this block because my squat this time last year was on another level. It was so strong. And it's just fallen off and I've not really managed to get it back. And I'm on a mission to get it back. So I went back to watch some old YouTube videos of when my squat was at its strongest. And I was really paying attention to what I was doing that I'm not doing now. So like the differences in technique, the differences in my stance, in how I'm gripping the bar, like all of these tiny little things. And on my Friday session, I have really light squats. I don't actually film. It's just 3x4 at 130. So nothing really to write home about. And for that session, I was like, right, I'm gonna really replicate how I squatted when I squatted 190 for a triple at the start of last year. And the main difference is that I squatted a lot narrower and I had my hands a little bit more narrow as well. And with that, the bar was ever so slightly higher on my back. So on Friday, I tried to mimic it. And I will say it did actually feel super strong. It's hard to know for sure because it was only 130, which for me is a very low percentage to really gauge how strong something feels, but I did feel like I had a good pop out of the hole that I feel like I've been missing. And my stance, I've not really brought it anywhere near as narrow as it was back then yet, mostly because when I was first kind of switching back to flats post-British in December, I was quite bloated, very heavy, couldn't really get into a narrow stance, as well as my ankle mobility wasn't quite there yet. Like it's taken me time to get my ankles able to handle me squatting in flats again. But I do feel like we're at a point now where I'm lighter than I was this time last year when I was like squatting at my strongest. My leverages are kind of optimal for a narrower stance squat now. Like I'm back to how I normally am when I squat narrow, and my ankles have been fine with squatting in flats. So I'm at a point where I'm like, okay, I need to just really try and get back to this. So the plan for today is to continue trying to mimic that and hopefully start off with a really strong week 1. I've got ascending triples, I think up to an RPE of 6. And then I've got a set load, I think 1x4 at 140 possibly. And then I've got bench and deadlifts after, which obviously I'll talk through in a sec. But with squats, the main focus now is to just essentially get my head out of my arse and get back to my best and exceed my best, because I've been working consistently this entire time. There's no way I'm not getting stronger. I need to just find a way to bring it through. And I think a big part of it is mental, but I'm doing what I can mentally. I'm a lot more confident than I was under heavy loads. So just basically gonna force my way back to my top end strength. So that's the plan. And I'm really excited actually. Yeah, I'm excited to see how squats feel. Bodyweight update. I am already at next week's target weight. So we're aiming to drop about half a kilo a week, ready for British bench. And my end of week target for this week was 87.7, which on Monday I was 87.8. Friday morning I woke up at 86.2. Yesterday I woke up at 86, oh no, I think I was 86.4 and then 86.2 yesterday. So Friday I was 86.4, Saturday I was 86.2, which is actually next Sunday's target. So I was over a week ahead of where I needed to be from this deficit, and my calories have been low. I did increase them to 1900 halfway through the week. And actually I went over on Thursday. I was really stressed and my appetite was super high. So I just had an extra bowl of cereal, and my calories actually ended up being, because it's quite calorie dense cereal, I think it was like 2,300 on Thursday. And then I woke up super light Friday and I was like, okay, yeah, my body needed that extra food. And my coach messaged me yesterday, my nutrition coach messaged me yesterday when she saw how light I was and that I was already at next week's target, to basically be like, eat a bit more today. So last night I did actually have a frozen pizza that I've had it in the freezer since the start of the year, and I've just been like eyeing it up ever since I started this cut, and that was going to be like my post-comp kind of meal when I got home that night, because I knew I'd be too tired to like properly cook, and then I don't have to order a takeaway and spend loads of money. But I was like, actually, do you know what? I've been really craving it like all week. So had that last night, and my calories ended up being about 2,450, I think, around that. Which, to be honest, is about maintenance for me when I eat that every day. So I'm still in a deficit from this week anyway. And then this morning I woke up at 86.5. So I was a little bit heavier than yesterday, but I will also say I could feel the sodium and the retention. Like, my face felt so bloated and swollen when I woke up, which happens anytime I have a super salty meal. And even last night after I'd eaten the pizza, I was so thirsty. So that is 86.5 this morning with some retention there. So today the calories are 1900 still, and then my coach has already said to me, we will be increasing your calories from tomorrow, because my check-in isn't actually until tomorrow. So I'm excited for some more food, but body weight is, I can make weight from 86.5, like technically I'm a bit lighter, let's say 86.2. I can make weight from that so comfortably. Anything from here is a bonus. Ideally, we'll get to about 85.5 over the next couple of weeks and cut from there, possibly even 85. And then it'll be a maintenance month in March after comp, just to kind of chill out, let my body settle at around the 85 to 86 mark. And then we'll be dieting down for English championships. So that is kind of the plan in terms of body weight. But I'm actually really happy I'm ahead of schedule, because it just takes so much pressure off and everything feels very calm. And actually I feel in a point where my body is ready to start eating some more food now. Like, this aggressive deficit, I was fine throughout and my strength is maintained really well, but I feel like I need more in my system now. So I'm excited for that. So yeah, plan for this block with bench is to basically just follow the peak I did into British for bench. So full power British at the start of December, I benched 120. I don't need to bench 120 at this comp. If I do, fantastic. I'm not really expecting to, just because of such an aggressive diet to get me to weight for comp. But having said that, I'm 3 weeks out and I don't need to lose much more. I think the goal is literally to lose like half a kilo, slightly over. So I'm actually in a really good spot just to maintain into the comp now. So we'll see. But the plan is to just copy basically the peak I did for my bench press for British full power in December into British bench, see how we show up on the day. Ideally, we're basically going to aim to open with enough to probably win, if not secure the win on my second, and then just kind of load up what I fancy for the third. But I'm not planning on, when I signed up for this comp, there was never the intention of PBing or even matching my personal best. Like, obviously I would love to do those things, but there's no pressure on it for me. Like, this is going to be a fun competition just to try and earn that GB singlet. So yeah, bench, I've got a fairly heavy week one single this week, but I know I can do it. And then deadlifts, I think we've gotten rid of paused deadlifts, I believe. Let me just double check this. I don't want to be telling a fib, but I'm fairly sure paused deadlifts are out on this day, which I'm really happy about if they are. Let's have a look. I think I've got a top, I want to say a top double. It's now not going to load. Okay, yeah, so I've got a top double at an RP 5 to 6 today, and then the end of block will be a top double at an RP of 7, just because that's British bench weekend. So I've got a top double on the final week of the block for squats as well, and the RP is 7.5 to 8. So it's not supposed to be a super heavy block for squats and deadlifts. However, with squats in particular, I am going into this with the attitude of, you are capable of the numbers you hit at the start of last year. Let's pace for them. So we'll see how the block goes. I'm not going to obviously I might overshoot. The plan isn't to overshoot. We're just going to keep going though and just see how we go. But yeah, with deadlifts, got a top double and then 4x4 back offs at 140. So I think for the top double, it's RP 5 to 6. I'll probably take 155 this week. It's really hard to know where my sumo strength is for like a top double or whatever. Like, I did 155 for 7 a few blocks ago. But yeah, I don't know. Sumo is still a bit of an unknown, but I am ready to work hard with sumo and like trust my body a bit more. So I'm quite excited to go in without having paused singles and stuff at the beginning and just go straight into like normal comp style lifting. So we will see how things go. But those are the main updates. I am feeling really good though. And bearing in mind at the start of the week, I was in an awful mood because training didn't go well last week. I didn't have a good end of block, but I kind of feel like I've had a bit of a kick up the arse, and that's kind of what I needed. I think that with the addition of extra food, also little like injury, hamstring, glute issue update. I had some more work done on Friday. We're fairly confident it is like a tendinopathy type thing. Walking the dog is making it worse. Obviously I can't not walk my dog, and also I want to get steps in. Like those two things are important, but more important is I have to walk my dog. I have a husky. He's like 18 months old. If I did not walk him, he would destroy my entire house and it would not be fair. But I've been doing shorter walks throughout the day. I actually didn't walk him today. My boyfriend took him on a walk today because I wanted to get some more stuff done around the house. And that's actually worked out quite well because my hamstring feels great. So I'm maybe thinking if I can try and convince him to do one day at the weekend without me, because we normally walk together, that maybe it'll start to heal a little bit. But I've been really focusing on mobility as well, because basically my hamstring is always in this really lengthened position whenever I'm standing. And so anytime I then like walk or kind of do any movement at all, it's just being overextended a little bit and it's just super painful. But it feels good now. It feels all right now. And when I squatted on Friday, I did notice that it actually felt no worse after squatting, which is usually what makes it feel a little bit tighter. So I'm hoping this narrow stance is just going to fix all of my problems. My strength will come back. My hamstring will start to heal. We'll be feeling good. There's definitely some delusion in there, but it's fine. Anyway, let's stop talking and I will show you guys my heaviest work.
Okay. I see across the room, X marked on the spot, everybody tryna zoom. This is casual, another night with the wolves, but I should be dealing with them, she's a damn professional. Making plays for, don't need to be told, yeah she knows. Got these fellas down bad and everybody else mad. Adrenaline rush, leaving them in the dust, now they converting the stands. The world is in her hands now, she's living in my head, rent free. Burning through my long-term memory. Everybody racing in a Grand Prix. They know if they don't take a chance now, didn't stay woke, no sleep, running back real slow, was that a wing? She's cold as ice, sugar-coated lies with the honey trap eyes. She's dangerous, she's dancing with intention. She's got everyone's attention. She's dangerous, they wanna get a number on a roulette. Tryna find an opening, roll the dice, cold sweat running down my neck. She be on the next victim, get caught in a web. Got these fellas spending all they got left. She be keeping the score like a follow ratio. Got these fellas praying to the Lord for a glimpse of any hope. She bad, she broke, straight unpredictable, straight irresistible. She got me in a slow. She's living in my head, rent free. Burning through my long-term memory. Everybody racing in a Grand Prix. They know if they don't take a chance now, didn't stay woke, no sleep, running back real slow, was that a wing? She's cold as ice, sugar-coated lies with the honey trap eyes. She's dangerous, she's dancing with intention. She's got everyone's attention.
Okay, so very quick recap. All I literally have to say is that is the best all three lifts have felt in a long time. Whether it's week 1 or week 4, that is the strongest, most proficient, or efficient all of my lifts have felt in a long time. I was super nervous for the 160 triple and it felt super comfortable. I was nervous for the 110 single and I ended up jumping straight from 100 to 110. The 110 single, I shifted to my left, which was a bit weird, but it was so comfortable and so easy. I got a press command, although it was a little bit short, I will say. But I got a command, so that's a good thing to start practicing. 102.5 triple, super comfortable. Got press commands on all 3 reps as well. And then deadlifts, my sumo has never felt that efficient. That felt insanely good. So I'm really happy. I also got the session done in an hour. We're on to a winner. This is gonna be the best block I've had in a year. I can feel it and I'm really excited. That's what I've got to say. So I'm dropping things on the floor. That is all I've got to say. So thank you very much if you made it to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. Please be sure to like, comment and subscribe and I'll see you in a few days for the next one.
And they trying and trying their luck, trying.